SECA is a great example of how strength in numbers can really make a difference. It all got started in February last year when a bunch of local green groups from the Horsham area got together for a networking meeting. Many of us were frustrated by the lack of action on climate change. Our house is on fire, as Greta Thunberg put it, but nothing seemed to be happening. So we decided to join forces and get behind the climate emergency movement that was just getting started at the time. The idea was to galvanise action by getting local councils to declare a climate emergency. Within a month, we'd set up a steering group and agreed our name, the South East Climate Alliance, or SECA, and we'd had our first demonstration. This was in Chichester, where SECA got behind an event that had already been planned by one of our member groups to urge the county council to divest its pension fund from dirty fossil fuels. Instead of a few dozen activists turning up, we had at least 100 enacting a die-in on the steps of County Hall. We certainly got the council's attention, though. 2 months later, we were back in even greater numbers, and a motion was passed in full council that acknowledged the climate emergency and pledged to cut the county council's own emissions to net zero by 2030. Later on, we used the local elections as a leverage point to get climate onto the agenda. We helped organise a coordinated letter-writing campaign to candidates across the whole area, asking them to back the idea of declaring a climate emergency if they were elected, and to sign a pledge card saying that. That was when the climate emergency wave started to build, not just in the southeast, but across the whole country. SECA has grown steadily. From 14 initial members, there are now over 80, spread across the whole of the southeast from Hampshire to Kent. We've heard from members that they see a real value in being part of something bigger, especially for groups that are themselves quite small. When you look at this graph, it shows there has been a remarkable transformation. By the end of 2020, all but one council in the southeast had either declared a climate emergency or passed a meaningful climate motion. SECA certainly can't claim credit for all of this, but it's an impressive demonstration of how coordinated people power can make a difference. This doesn't mean that it's job done, of course. It all depends on what happens next and whether councils turn their words into meaningful action. So SECA's task is not over yet. It's moving on to a new phase where instead of campaigning for a climate emergency, it's now focusing on working with councils to get climate plans implemented. If you'd like to learn more and join up, do check out the SECA website.